It is my honor as well to join this incredibly esteemed panel of global women's leaders who are working to end violence against women and girls here in the U.S. and around the world. As you've heard already, violence against women and girls is a serious problem here in the United States as well as around the world. We at Futures Without Violence co-chair a national network of more than 200 non-governmental organizations, nonprofits, more commonly known here in the U.S., that are joined together to highlight the issues of violence against women and girls with the goal of one day ending such violence and atrocity. We've come together to highlight multiple forms of violence against women, including honor crimes, female genital mutilation or cutting, as you've heard, and child marriage. We have seen as an organization in more than 30 years that there are few things that unite women and girls here in the U.S. and in every country of the world more than their determination to fight violence against women, against themselves, and against their sisters, and against their children. Unfortunately, that is often because it is the one thing that unifies so many women around the world, but it is also this that gives us great optimism that we can one day end it. While you've heard these horrific tales today, you have also seen, importantly, courage and passion to end the violence. Yes, women and girls are the primary victims of these atrocities, but it is women and girls who are also leading the way out and showing us the path to work to end violence against women and girls. You've also seen clearly that the fight against gender-based violence and women's human rights generally is not just some Western ideal. It is not just something that the United States or Western governments are trying to impose on other nations. Rather, in every part of the world, women and men, as you saw, from every faith and every nation continue to stand up for themselves and their daughters, and often at great personal risk, something that many of us don't fully understand in this country, what courage it takes to speak out as these women have. While culture is as powerful as laws in enforcing social norms, and you've heard that and you will see that in this great movie, and I do encourage everyone, first and foremost, see the movie. It is not simply culture or religion that causes violence, though those who choose to oppress women will often use it as an excuse. But no religion determines that this should be done to women and girls, and no country holds the market on such atrocities. Those who oppress women and girls do so by choice. And that is also what gives us great hope. Because it is a choice that can be ended. And that's why we are such strong advocates for the International Violence Against Women Act and see the incredible potential it provides. The IVAWA, as you heard, was introduced by Congressman Schakowsky in November, and we do expect its Senate companion to be introduced shortly as well. It is a landmark piece of legislation that, as was said, makes ending violence against women and girls U.S. foreign policy. It strengthens the infrastructure that has already been put in place in some places by the administration, including key positions at the State Department and USAID. And it makes our aid programs more integrated and do a better job, and also around addressing violence against women and girls. So, for instance, when a new road is being built or negotiations are taking place on setting up a refugee camp, our government now needs to address those issues and plan ahead for what we can expect might happen in terms of addressing violence against women and girls. Our own government will also be held accountable, and that's something that we've so appreciated from Congressman Schakowsky's leadership, is that we can't just talk the talk, we need to walk the walk. And this legislation includes really strong mechanisms in terms of transparency, about where the money is going, what it's doing, and it requires, as was said, an actual strategy that is made available and is made public and will be updated annually. So we're always using good best practices, best programs. The other thing that's really important, and I appreciated that she highlighted, and you can understand the reason when you listen to the women here, and that's that the legislation also requires that a certain percentage of funds go to on-the-ground women's organizations. We know that this is about helping and supporting women who are also doing the tremendous and incredibly courageous work, often at their own peril, of ending violence against women and girls. This is not something, again, as we've said, that happens over there to those people because of their culture or because everybody over there thinks it's okay. And I know this is something that we run into here in the U.S. I'm sure the Congresswoman hears it from her colleagues as well, that it's just those people, this is their culture, it's kind of how they do things over there. And what makes me so honored to be among these women is that's not okay. And it's women themselves who are saying, this is not okay. This is not my religion. This is not my culture. This is not my country. And I'm going to give voice to the women, even those who are still trapped and can't do so safely. To be clear, there's no woman anywhere in the world who wants to be beaten, who wants to be raped, who wants to be killed. There is no woman or girl anywhere in the world, in any country or any corner, who seeks to have skin-melting acid thrown on her face, to seek having the most intimate parts of her body sliced off with a rusty blade. Women everywhere are standing up and saying no more. We are at a critical time in the move to end violence against women and girls and promote women's equality globally. You heard about the notion of gender apartheid. We are at a moment where the world is coming together to stand up and say this is wrong. And to do so, we ask you to join with us, to speak strongly, to speak boldly, to speak proudly. That we in the U.S. are not here to do it for the women of the world, but to do it with the women of the world. To say we must end this violence against women and girls here and everywhere. Thank you very much.